Hello friends, we are Rituban and Urunima, the diversity travelers. We live in Hobart, capital of the beautiful Australian state Tasmania. Experiencing the diversity of this wonderful world through travel is our passion. Over the last 15 years, during our time in England and Australia, we have traveled to 6 continents, 40 countries, and over 50 great cities and extraordinary natural wonders. We are creating short videos based on our own recordings to archive our beautiful memories and share with you on our YouTube channel. The Nile is a major north-flowing river in the northeastern Africa. It flows into the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile is the longest river in Africa and has historically been considered the longest river in the world. We hope you have watched the first 6 episodes of our Egypt series. This was our longest day sail on the Nile. We sailed for a whole day from Edfu to the town of Kom Ombo in Aswan. About 6,650 km long, Nile covers 11 countries. In particular, the Nile is the primary water source for Egypt, Sudan and South Sudan. Additionally, the Nile is an important economic river, supporting agriculture and fishing for the last 5,000 years. It was a very relaxing day. We enjoyed the passing sceneries. Food was great on board and we had too much to eat. By the evening, we arrived in Kom Ombo. Our tour guide told us that unfortunately, Nile's water level has dropped significantly in this section of the river. As you can see, one boat got stuck in the middle of the river. It was too risky to sail from Kom Ombo to Aswan, the last stretch of our cruise. The boat captain didn't want to take any risk, so we stayed on the boat for the next couple of nights, enjoyed the food, did some extraordinary day trips around Aswan before visiting Kom Ombo temple. Night view of the Kom Ombo temple was spectacular. Next morning, we saw that the famous steamer named Sudan was parked just behind our boat. It was on board this historic vessel in 1933, the queen of mystery thriller Agatha Christie found her inspiration to write Death on the Nile. Our day started by visiting the Aswan High Dam. The Aswan High Dam is the world's largest embankment dam, which was built across the Nile between 1960 and 1970. The Aswan High Dam was designed by the Moscow-based Hydro Project Institute. The Aswan High Dam's ability to better control flooding, provide increased water storage for irrigation, and generate hydroelectricity, the dam was seen as pivotal to Egypt's planned industrialization. We continued our day by visiting the Unfinished Obelisk in Aswan. The obelisks were an integral part of an ancient Egyptian temple, as we have seen at the Karnak and Luxor temple. This particular unfinished obelisk was ordered by Hatshepsut, Egypt's first female pharaoh. The creators began to carve it directly out of the bedrock, but the cracks appeared in the granite and the project was abandoned. The unfinished obelisk offer unusual insight into the ancient Egyptian stoneworking techniques. Near the unfinished obelisk, we visited a bookshop in Aswan. Our guide pointed to a painting book called Yesterday and Today Egypt, a collection of original painting of the important Egyptian sites by the great Scottish painter David Roberts. We bought that book, which is an amazing collection of hand drawings by David Roberts. This is a reprint of the sketches he made during the long tour of the region between 1838 and 40. The magnificent book is published by the American University in Cairo Press. Next, we went to Agilki Island to visit the Philae temple. We went to a boat terminal in Aswan to catch a boat. There were lots of colorful shops selling handicrafts items. We took a short boat ride to the island to visit the Grand Temple. The island includes temple buildings from the time of the ancient Egyptian kings down to the Roman period. Philae Temple of Isis, Osiris and Horus was built during 380 to 362 BC. Originally, the Philae temple used to be situated on an island, but the construction of the initial Aswan Dam in 1902 significantly flooded the area, submerging the whole temple complex underwater. In 1960, UNESCO started a project to try to save the buildings on the island from the destructive effect of the ever-increasing water level of the Nile. The temple complex was dismantled piece by piece and moved to the nearby Agilki Island at a higher ground. The original submerged temple was dismantled into around 40,000 units, 2 to 25 tons, and then transported to this island. We can only imagine the mammoth project that was successfully completed to achieve this transfer to today's current location at 500-meter high ground. Panoramic view of the Philae temple and the complex was extraordinary. The Trajan's Kiosk, also known as Pharaoh's Bed by the locals, is an unfinished monument on the island. The building is attributed to Roman Emperor Trajan due to his depiction as pharaoh on some of the interior walls. This was the most evocative structure on the island. The learning of the history on how UNESCO protected this grand temple complex from near extinction, accompanied by a short boat ride across the river, it became a unique and memorable experience. We went back to our boat before visiting the Temple of Kom Ombo. The Temple of Kom Ombo is an unusual double temple in the town of Kom Ombo. Kom Ombo, the Heel of Ombos, is an enormous temple complex dedicated to the crocodile-headed Sobek and the falcon-headed Heroiris. Sobek was depicted as a full crocodile or a human with a crocodile head. We visited a nearby crocodile museum to see some crocodile mummies found in the near vicinity. Ancient Egyptians used to mummify animals as a ritual, in particular crocodiles, to satisfy the god Sobek, associated with the Nile crocodiles. The temple compound had pylons, the pillared court, papyrus-shaped massive columns, and the hypostyle halls and antechambers. Most part of the temple is largely intact, with extraordinarily preserved color details on the columns. We experienced three unique features of Kom Ombo. It is believed that Kom Ombo temple used to be a sanctuary where people used to come for cure. The scene on the inner face of the rear wall of the temple is of particular interest, probably representing a set of surgical instruments that were used in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egyptians used to put large wooden pieces in between large stones to reinforce the overall strength of the structure. We also learned about a Nilometer, a system that Egyptians used to measure the water level of Nile to make decisions about irrigation and water storage. Temple's cleaning staff were ready for evening duties in traditional dresses while sun was setting on the horizon. Reflection of the sunlight on the massive columns were magnificent. It was a beautiful evening. Our boat was staying in Kom Ombo, so we had a bit of time to explore this ancient temple leisurely before going back to our boat. We had a great time in Kom Ombo and Aswan. A long day to visit so many memorable ancient sites. A truly great collection in our diversity mix. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more regular video uploads. Share with your friends and families and enjoy the world's amazing diversity. Thanks for watching our travel videos.